Hello YouTube and welcome to the flight deck of the Airbus A320. We're sat on the ground at Glasgow International in Scotland. I don't know why my hat switch is doing weird like that. Yeah, we're sat on the ground at Glasgow in Scotland and we're about to head down to Heathrow. Wind 220 at 22 knots, gusting 33, so we've got quite a bit of wind. Altimeter 1015, okie dokie. We can close that off, get rid of that. Also get rid of that. Right, I've had to do a clean install since my last video, unfortunately, and that has meant certain things aren't working anymore, like EasyDock. One of the things I find vital in flight sim is EasyDock. Why is my hat switch doing that? It's really strange. (1015). So yeah, we've not got EasyDock, so I'm gonna have to move around like this, unfortunately. Right, and I also said in my last video I would have the co-pilot on, so that's exactly what we're going to do. He can help reduce the workload on me and help me out a little bit. Alright, let's get some displays set up here. Voila, let there be light. TCAS can come on. Overhead panel, we need to turn the IRS switches onto nav, nav, and nav. Okay, emergency lights armed, no smoking, and seatbelt signs on. We don't want any lighting on in here. Nav logo is on. We have faults on the generators, but we will do until engines are started. So APU master switch on and start. Right, down to here now. Okay, so we're departing Echo Golf Papa Foxtrot, and we're going to Echo Golf Lima Lima. Flight number is BA1479. Now the flight number is different to our call sign. We're not on VATSIM today, but if we were, our call sign would be Shuttle 7 Charlie. We've got a cost index of 35. Cruise level of 33,000 feet and a line RS. Okay, next page. Block, we've got 5.5 tons of fuel. Trip wind, don't know, not looked at it. Next page. Flight plan. Okay, departure via runway 23 via Norbo 1 Hotel. Why? Right. Now, picking your SIDs and stars is actually pretty straightforward. A lot of people, I have seen this on forums, people writing that they don't know what SID or what star to arrive or depart from. A lot of it goes onto your flight plan. So, my first waypoint is Norbo, so we're going to choose the runway, which we have, runway 23 in the top, and then we're going to scroll down and find Norbo 1 Hotel. That's our star, SID in fact, simple as that. And once we've done that, we're going to click on Norbo, we're going to input the airways, so we're going to be then going on to Tango 256, then to DCS. From there we're going to Uniform Lima 612. Doesn't like that one, it always takes a little while to put that one in for some reason. Then on to Lakey. And once Lakey, we're going to go direct. So what we do now is we come down here, we then put in the next waypoint, which is Nugra. Boom. Right. Now for our arrival. arrival. Right, we're going to be landing on ILS runway 27 left. So we'll select that. Now, Nugra is our last waypoint, but if we look through, there isn't a Nugra. So this is where you need to refer to your charts and find out. If you look, you'll have your main waypoints. If I remember, I'll put a picture up. You'll have your main waypoint, and then you'll have your airway coming off it. And on the airway, just as it leaves the picture, it should have what waypoint that's coming from, which ours does, and we're coming from BAN 1 Bravo. So that is our start. So we put that in there. I can clear all this out. Okay, 3000, 2000. Make sure this is all how it should be. 20,000. Yes, it is. Oh, blimey! I have updated my nav data for the FMC, and I'm getting much more accurate constraints because they were not there last time. I had to put them in manually, but that is all sorted. Okay, right. Insert. Right, we've got no discos. Have a quick look through, make sure we haven't got any discos. No, we haven't. Right, we're all set up here. How long until IRS is aligned? 1 more minute, so we can start to go ahead. We're doing turn terrain on because we are going to be flying not close, but we are in a built-up area. There are mountains and stuff around here. It's more important, I suppose, during landing, but and you can't see them because of the cloud. I don't know why that's doing that. It's really annoying me. I've had a few problems since my fresh install, but never mind. Okay, fuel pumps on. APU bleed on. Right, and now we'll go ahead and start checklists.
Okay, let's with a quick
Cockpit preparation.
Both on. APU is on.
Okay, IRS is aligned now.
Are on.
Engine master.
Both off.
Engine mode selector.
Check normal.
Landing gear lever.
Checked.
Parking brake.
Is off.
Flaps.
Checked position.
Speed brake lever.
Check retracted.
Thrust levers.
And that I'm going to get rid of our ground services. Set
Check
parking brake.
Stand by.
Radio control panel.
Set on.
Team recall.
Check
Anti-skid.
Overhead
is
panel.
on.
Director.
Is on.
Okay, that's on.
Lights.
Check arm.
No smoking signs.
Set on.
Anti-ice.
Are off.
Crowd window heat.
Is off.
Air condition.
Checked.
Ventilation.
Checked.
Panel.
Checked.
Fuel pumps.
Are on.
Hydraulics.
Checked.
Active brake pressure.
Set.
Ground proximity warning system.
Are on.
Electronic flight control system.
Is on.
ADIRS.
Checked.
Emergency equipment.
Checked.
Checklist complete.
Oh, finally, because that closed doors. Why do I have to do that? What's the point of having cabin crew? In fact, the cabin crew even on? Let's go over there because it's a lot harder to do it from here. They are now. Okay. Return. The doors. Right, let's get these doors closed up. And we can push and start and get out of here. Before start checklist.
Captain, the cabin is secure. All passengers are aboard.
Oh, she's an
Before
invisible
start
cabin crew.
checklist.
Oh, I've got an invisible co-pilot.
Closed and locked.
APU.
APU is on.
APU heat.
Is
Turn
on.
constraints on there so we can see them.
Disconnected and off.
Cabin signs.
Is on.
Thrust lever.
Idle.
Parking brake.
Is on.
Barrel reference.
1015.
1015. Check. Beacon lights.
Set on.
Checklist complete.
British Airways, of course. Okay, so we're going tail left. No, we're not. We're going tail right, nose left. Nope. Right then.
Flight deck to ground.
Go ahead.
ATC clearance for start and taxi received.
Now, I decided to
So
change the
please
time because I can
confirm
only
ground
fly
equipment
during the day. I'm not really going to get time to do it in the morning or at night time. So I decided to change the time of day to early morning. It's about 7:30. In fact, is the time on down there? There we go. It's 7:48 in the morning. We've got a flight time of 1 hour 6 minutes. So by the time we've taken off, 8:05, I imagine we'll be there just after 9 o'clock. Right, he wants me to start engine number 2, but I can't do anything just yet.
Departure check completed. Flight estimate inserted. Release parking brakes.
Parking brakes released.
All engines clear. Start that wheel.
Okay, and we can start, so let's go ahead.
Engine 2 is stabilized.
Okay, engine 2 stable, starting engine 1. The hat switch is fine outside, just inside for some reason.
Air signal to the right. Have a good flight.
Set parking brakes.
Parking brake set. What's he saying now? Wait, okay. Okay, so both engines are started, so they're going normal.
Let's proceed with the after start checklist. Check normal. Set off.
Unlocking gear.
Set off.
Ground spoilers.
Set.
Tow truck
Check
disconnected.
0.
Fly vest being removed.
Set.
Flight controls.
Full left.
Full right.
Full right.
Neutral.
Neutral.
Full back.
Full up.
Full down.
Full down.
And neutral.
Neutral. Rudder.
Full left.
Left.
Full right.
Full right.
And neutral.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Flaps 1
Flaps 1.
are off. Checked. Checked. Received.
Okay, we can now go ahead and taxi out to runway 23. Till next time.
Taxiing checklist. Taxi. As required. Press pedal. Check 0. Max. Set. Checked. Checked. Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff. Before takeoff checklist.
Brake temperature.
Checked.
Brake pads.
Are off.
Engine mode selector.
Check normal.
TPAP.
TA and RA till above.
Approaching 2-3.
Set
Oh yeah, there we go.
stowed.
Okay, that whizzing noise you can hear there, that is the sound of the electric chairs moving in the cockpit, which I didn't know until I watched a real aviation video the other day. And I heard that sound, and he was
On
moving his
runway
chair backwards and
2,
forwards and
3.
whatnot. Okay, so that's 40%, so we're stable. And
Okay,
toga.
let's go. Take off.
So remember, we've got gusting winds here, so this could be.
Check.
It's 30 knots right now.
Gear up.
Gears coming up. So you'd notice the wind a lot more if I had easy dock, but I don't. Well, I do have it, it's just not working at this moment in time. Never mind.
Flaps up. Climb thrust. After takeoff checkers. Check normal.
Okay, we're going to autopilot now.
Pilot is on. Check retracted. Gear up, lights off. Set off. Both on. Are off. Check.
And it's FTX Global that gives you these light effects, which I didn't realise that was part of the package. It was quite a pleasant little surprise. Okay, so we're still getting the tail end of Storm Desmond, as they've called it. Fantastic. And we've got almost 60 knot winds already, and we're only at 4,000 feet. Anyway, that is us done until our approach into London Heathrow. And I'll bring you back there. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back. I may have missed top of descent. Had to go and walk my dog. So we're making a bit of a. I think we're alright now, actually. The initial descent from 33 to 25 was pretty monstrous. So the sun is just starting to rise, and we've been in flight for 37 minutes. So that gives us just short of half an hour before we need to land. Alright, what I'm going to do now is go and set up the approach phase in the FMC. Right. Okay, QNH is 1025. Temperature is 12. Wind and heading, I can't remember what it was. Transitional altitude 6,000 feet. And decision height will be 200. I have it on there actually. I have it on the radio altimeter. Landing config full. Alright, so our flap speeds are 142. We need to put a +5 in for wind correction. That's going to go in to give us 147. Alright, what we need to do on the Airbus, if it hasn't done it already, which it has. Brilliant, that'll do. Okay, then we don't need to do anything else. We're all set up and ready. Flight plan. So it's expecting us to land at 08:54, so 20 minutes, and we should be on the ground. I sorted my hat switch problem out. The repeat slider was only halfway, which was causing it to obviously stutter like we saw earlier. So this is pretty much it. We just sit back and relax and wait until we get on the ground. In fact, whilst I wait, I'll just get up weather request. That's close enough. It's going to be similar. It's 130 that is, but it's 1025 earlier when I looked, so we'll just keep it at that. And that's fine. Temperature of 11, well I put 12, so that's fine. Okay, we're gusting to 29 knots according to this. So it could make for an interesting landing, to say the least. Get rid of that bar. I do not like that bar. I cannot tell you what the flight's been like because, as I said, I had to go out and walk the dog. But we're all good at the moment, and that's all that matters. 19,000 feet. We've passed our 20,000 feet restriction. Our next one is at SOAP at 15,000 feet. As you can see in here, that green dot is our descent path, and if that's level with that, we're on the perfect descent path. If it's below, we're too high. If it's above, we're too low. And that's a good indication to tell you that everything that you're doing is right in terms of your approach and your descent. Need to get the weather radar sorted for this, I think. Because I've not yet sorted it out. Okay, so a quick overview of what I'm using. Using UK2000 Glasgow Airport, which is obviously where we departed from. I'm using UK2000 Heathrow, which is where we will be arriving into. I've got FTX Global, Rex, don't know which version, couldn't tell you. Active Sky next. We're also using Aerosoft Airbus Extended. FS Dream Team was the pushback and all the vehicles around the aircraft that you saw at the start. And Easy Dock, apart from we're not using Easy Dock because it won't work. Spent 2 hours last night trying to work out how to get it to work, and it's just annoying me. In the end, I just settled for what I've got, and we'll go from there. So next flight, I have no ideas where the next flight's going to be to. I mean, I could take a VFR flight over to Gatwick and depart from Gatwick. That is a possibility. Okay, so coming up on 16,000 feet now. Oh, co-pilot's got his tray table out. We've got constraints set up. We've got a 250 knot constraint by the time we get to WCO, which is fine. And that should manage itself. The FMC should manage that down to that speed. I'm hoping. If not, we'll have to do it manually. It's not a problem. Very, very clear. Bit murky, but you get murkiness anyway when you're at altitude. Many clouds in the sky. And to be fair, there isn't many clouds in the sky where I live either, so... There we go. Let's bring the speed down to 250 knots now. Bring some drag in to help it. Next constriction is 3,000 feet, which we can see here. Terrain can come off. Okay, we're down to 250, so we can get rid of that now. Okay, so the passengers we picked up from Glasgow this morning, getting their daily commute to London. And we're almost there, we've almost got them there nice and safely. Which obviously is priority number one, safety. Of course, even in the simming world, it's all about the passenger safety. Right, I've written some constraints down on a bit of paper here of what we need to be. We need to be at 220 knots by the time we get to Bovingdon, which is Bravo November November, which is there. So we need to be at 220 knots by the time we get there. So once that comes in that marker there, a 7.5 mile marker, we'll then start to reduce speed to 220 knots. On the turn, as we turn to come onto our approach heading, we need to be between 180 and 160. And once past 2,200 feet on the descent and ILS capture, we then reduce speed below 160 knots for final landing. Okay, so we're just about to pass 10,000 feet. The co-pilot will shout that out, and she or he should turn on the light, so we'll leave that down to them. On arrival into Heathrow, we'll taxi off at November 6, left onto Alpha, down to the bottom, right onto Alpha, and stand 521, sorry. Should be straight in front of us.
Lights on.
Okay, so we're coming inside that now, so I change speed to 220 knots. Okay, we won't descend down because we're trying to bleed speed, so we just engage some speed brake there. Now I think if I have time, and depending when it is, I will take part in the next event that means Heathrow is going to be busy, and see if we can come in at a busy period. Obviously I'm not online now, so we've got nothing to worry about. But I've never gone into Heathrow on VATSIM. Not because I don't want to, just because I normally fly out of Stansted or East Midlands. Okay. Right, that turn we can see there. Once we pass that purple marker there, we will then reduce speed down to 180, and then once we come round, there's no way of, oh yes there is, right. So once we pass the 2,500 marker there, we will then reduce our speed down to 147, our landing speed. Needs to be at 160 before we get to there. And I can't go any higher, but this one here you can just see we need to be at 180 by the time we get there. So again, once that comes within the 7.5 mile marker, I'll then reduce speed to 180 knots. I see London in the distance. The big smoke. which means Heathrow should be just off to our right somewhere. Obviously normally going into Heathrow in real life you'd be putting a hold as they stack them up and bring them in one by one, but obviously not being online, no traffic, and we haven't got any AI, there is no real reason for us to go and sit in a hold for the sake of it. If we needed to bleed off some speed and altitude, then I'd go into a hold, but there is absolutely no reason to.
Approach checklist. Check. Stowed. Check. Check.
Okay, there's a 7.5, so we bring this down now to 180. May have to feed in a little bit of speed brake just to bleed off the speed. Yes, we will, as otherwise we're going to be too high on our approach. Okay, so we've been in the air for 50 minutes. It gives us 16 minutes to land. It's not going to take us that long, so we're ahead of schedule.
Flaps 1.
Flaps 1. Seems to be a bit wayward there. That is why, it's because we've got a 40 knot wind coming across us right now.
Set. Cross check. 1.
And there is Heathrow.
5.
0.
Big London. I wonder what sort of frames I'm getting. Can't complain with those.
Attendants,
Nice and
be
smooth.
Prepare for landing.
I'm getting a bit of sync issue though, but I can sort that out at a later date. Right, okay, cabin crew have called an announcement for landing. We're down to 180 knots. So next speed at 3000 we need to be at 160, and then once we pass the 2500 FL27 left we can then reduce speed to landing speed. Okay, we'll bring this down gradually, so 170. Pardon me. His little cough and sneezing is contagious. There's London. What a place. Drove a lorry around there for a year. It wasn't fun. I've not been there for over a year. So happy days. Okay, bring this down to 160 now, just before we make the turn. Okay, we need a medium brake, nothing too crazy. Once we turn onto here, we'll activate approach phase. And there's the turn. Okay. Okay, we're it's recognising the glide slope, so we can turn that on now. Approach phase has been activated. There we go. Right, now it's just speed management until we get to about 1,000 feet, and then we can think about taking over. Why is it going into a crazy dive like that? That was a bit mental. Okay, localizer is alive. It's a shame, I wanted to get here a little bit earlier so that the lights were still on. I think it looked quite good, but never mind. Give me plenty more opportunities.
2,500.
Okay, so we're slightly below the glide slope at the moment. That's absolutely fine. Right, we're just coming upon that now, so once we've passed this we can then go to 147, which is our landing speed, which is gear down and full flaps. Okay, reduce down to 147. Speed brake armed. Flaps 2. And localizer is fully captured. Still holding her own on the frames. I imagine with the NGX that might just drop just below 30, but then again maybe not, because we're getting 40, 45 here. So.
Gear down.
Okay, gear down. I'll go flaps full.
Landing checklist. Down and locked. 3
Armed.
green. Check arm. Medium. Are on.
3,000 feet.
Check. Check. No blue.
Okay, checklists are complete. Once I finish this flight, I'm going to grab some lunch. I am starving. Okay, we've got quite a crosswind coming across the front of our nose there. If you look, it's coming across from 229, 228, it's varied at 21 knots. It just gusted up to 29. So this could be, we may have to do a first ever go around here. I've never had to do one. Hopefully not, hopefully not. Is that what? Is there a massive hotel right in front of the runway there? Well, that's well placed, isn't it? I don't suppose that's a real thing. Okay, we passed 1,000 feet and I completely forgot. So, autopilot disengaged.
500.
I have control of the aircraft. Well, that wind is pushing us across actually. I didn't think it would be that effective.
300 above.
Continue.
200 minimum.
I'll say it like him. Landing. Cool, like a
100.
fighter.
70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard, retard, retard.
Oh, that was my fault. I was slow there. Forgot to.
100. 5.
Telling me long landing. That was terrible.
Long landing.
Oh dear, that was shocking. I'm not happy with that.
70 knots.
Okay, let's clear up. In fact, should we add some more realism to this? Let's get a follow me car.
Landing checklist.
Oh, I don't know which one to select.
Check.
Okay, here we go. Right, 521 is the one we want.
Check.
Here we go.
Check. Stand by.
Yes, let's have a follow me.
Check.
Okay, here we go.
Is on.
I know where I'm going, but it just adds a little bit more to the sim, doesn't it? Why not? After a terrible landing, it'd be nice just to have something a little bit different. So this should be November 6th by rights. There's the follow me, over there, look. Which one is it? Oh, that's November 5, so we wanted the next one. Never mind. It's no biggie. I know where I'm going, so if this geezer doesn't hurry up, he's there, look. Right, so everything's cleared up. Flaps are up, spoilers are back in. Follow me is arrived, or has arrived. Where's he gone? Has he just disappeared? Oh, he's trying to take me down there. Okay. See, on that landing I had the bad habits. No, not bad habits, but when you leave the auto throttle on the NGX and you're landing, it automatically shuts the engines off as you flare. Or idles the engine, should I say. And this doesn't. When he calls out retard, that is the time to bring back the throttles, and I just completely forgot and didn't do it, which is why we ballooned a little bit. But not to worry. When you're flying different aircraft all the time, I don't see how it can be possible to be perfect. Every time. You're not going to get everything right, it's just not physically, well, it probably is physically possible by some people, but it's not a problem. We landed. Safe landing's a good landing, apparently. But I do like the co-pilot feature on the Airbus X. I think it just makes life a lot easier. And if you think you want that with the NGX, you need to have FS to crew. That's N6, that's where we should have come off. There we go. Anyway, it's been a pleasure, it's been a good flight. I don't know where the next flight's going to take us to, but we may be departing from here, we could be departing from somewhere else, depending if I decide to fly VFR over to Gatwick. Because those of you that have been watching all my videos know I will not warp to another airport to do a different flight. I will always fly to the airport that I want to depart from. Anyway, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate the new subscribers. And thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.